Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be going over how I go about doing my acrylic pours. I asked you guys on Instagram what kind of tips and tricks you want me to share, and yeah, I decided that I've recorded the whole process of me actually preparing the canvas and then actually pouring the paint and how I do that, everything in between, and that's what I've done for this video. Yeah guys, I'm very new to acrylic pouring, and I feel like this would be a good video to get started and you guys to, you know, have an insight into how I do it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so a lot of you guys have been asking how I cut out the tape to place on the canvas before I do the acrylic pour. I just cut out the digital copy of the design, so in this case I'm doing Fry, and then I trace over it, so I just do the tracing method and then put it onto the canvas, and then after that I just align the amount needed of blue tape on a table or surface, a flat surface, and then I put the cutout of the design on top, and then all I have to do now is I just secure it in like so. Now that it's in place, all I do is just draw over the outline so that when I'm done it will leave like a nice outline, as you can see here. So I just repeat this process all the way around the design. Alright, so now that it's done, all I do is just remove the paper, and now we've got the design outline on the tape. So what I do now is I either cut it out with scissors or I use a scalpel like this, and I just go over the edges and cut it out. So now that I've finished going over the outline with the scalpel, I've cut out everything. All I have to do is just put it on the canvas, and because I traced on the design, I know exactly where to put it. So now it's just really simple. Just remove the tape from the table or whatever you've cut it out on, and bit by bit just put it on, line it so it aligns on the canvas. And when you're done guys, just press it down because there might be a few air bubbles in it. What I also like to do before the pour is that I get about 2 pieces of blue tape or painter's tape, and I just stick it down so that it has little tabs here, so that when I pour over the canvas I don't need to worry about like where I need to pull from once it's complete, so that yeah, it would just be easier for me for when I'm taking it off the canvas. Okay guys, so what do I use to mix the paint? I use a pouring medium, a Liquitex pouring medium, and because I have loads of heavy body acrylic, I just mix with that, and I kind of just use what I got. A lot of recommendations I've seen is that you use just liquid, already liquid paint. So there is fluid acrylics like this golden fluid acrylics, that's really good, and I recommend these. But I feel like if you've got paint already, even if it's heavy body, you can just loosen it up with a bit of water and the pouring medium, and it should be fine. And that's what I did with these paints here. So what I do to contain the paints that I've made is I just get like a ketchup bottle. You can buy these on Amazon, they're really simple and they're great for just storing paint, and they keep it nice and sealed so you can just pick them up and you're ready to go for the next fluid piece that you create. So that's what I do. I recommend buying some of these containers to use. So yeah, we just mix with the pouring medium, and I'm just going to show you now. So what I want to do is make a lighter pink. So I'm going to use the existing white that I've painted and this heavy body magenta that I have got. So I just put a little bit in the cup or whatever you're working with to mix the paint, just a little bit. Pour a bit of the white in, just like that, and as you can see it's super loose because I've pre-mixed this one. So this is what's great about the, and you can also like control your paint pours much easier with this. So as you can see I've got that, and what I really should do now, because I'm using heavy body acrylic, I just need to break it down and just simply stir in the paint so that there's pretty much no lumpy parts to the painting. So that's one of the reasons why I use just a little bit at first and I don't put anything in, because I really just want to break down the paint so it's nice and smooth. And then if I want to go a bit lighter or darker, I can just add whatever I need to just make it the perfect colour I want. And this is what's great about using the paints that you have. It's just really simple, and you've got if you have so many paints, you might as well use them to create the fluid art. So I just add the pouring medium in, and I kind of just it doesn't really matter how much you pour, you just need it to a nice consistency. So yeah, as you can see, you just pour, and what you will notice is that it doesn't mess with the colour. It doesn't make it transparent. It just maintains the colour. That's what's really great about the pouring medium. And yeah, you just stir it in and you make sure you really get it all completely stirred in, because you don't want any lumps or any just paint that's not mixed for when you pour, because yeah, that's not what you want. You want a nice opaque colour. And as you can see now, it's pretty good consistency, and what you should be aiming for is this kind of consistency where it kind of is really loose and it drips, but it's not too loose, it's not too watery, but it's just enough so that it slides off your stirring, or in this case I've got my knife, and yeah, it just slides off really nicely. So that's the kind of consistency that you're aiming for, and yeah, it's pretty much ready now. They say to leave it to sit for a couple of minutes to let any bubbles rise and pop, so that when you pour on the canvas you're ready to go. So next up guys, all you have to do is prepare your surface. So what I do is I get a bin bag and I just align it so that it's on the table, and you have to make sure it's on a flat surface. So yeah, that's what I do. I just get some blue tape. Man, this is the best thing you can ever have as an artist. Blue tape, blue painter's tape, and yeah, it's the best thing. So yeah, just keep it nice and straight. So now that it's on, all I use is these very handy painter stands. You can get them on Amazon, that's where I get them from, and yeah, you just align them nice and evenly on the bin bag or the table, and then you just put your canvas on, and now it will drip onto the bin bag, and yeah, it wouldn't ruin anything that you're working with. Also guys, remember to wear gloves, because it does get messy, so you don't want to make the mistake of not wearing gloves, because you're going to get it everywhere. So yeah, put some gloves on guys. Alright, so now for the fun part guys. So what I do to start off with is that I quickly just wipe off any dust or anything that's covering the canvas, and then yeah, so it seems fine. I press down on the tape so that any air bubbles that have come up I can just press down and remove, so that the paint when poured, it doesn't get under the tape. So first step is that I always align the canvas with a kind of base coat of white or black, and in this case I'm using white. So yeah, so let's go crazy with it. This is really fun, and yeah, just embrace the colors that are going to come out of this, and just don't worry if you think any mistake is happening. It kind of just works anyway. So yeah, so what I do is just pour on, as you can see, just keep it nice and flowy. And yeah, so what I do now is I get a paintbrush and I just push the paint throughout the whole canvas so that it's nice and coated, so that when I pour the colours on, it shouldn't be too bad, and it will flow nicely. Alright, so now that's all on, I can start adding the colour. So what I'm going to start with is the blue for the background. I'm just going to pour a nice just dollop of paint right there. Just going crazy with it. And then I'm going to add a bit of green in the middle, as well as a bit of pink. Just a little bit, and that's kind of cool. So what we can do, we can kind of relax a little, and we can just start tilting and tipping the paint, and as you can see, it's like really nicely just pushing around the paint. And because we did that first layer of paint, of white paint, the paint now runs really smoothly across the canvas. So yeah, as you can see, the paint pretty much gets everywhere. So using gloves is really key to creating it. Alright, so that's the first layer down. I quite like that. It's a nice layer paint. So now all I have to do is just start finding out ways of just mixing. So I like this bit, and I kind of want more blue around here, so I just do some crazy, I can do whatever I want. Like, you can really just have fun with creating whatever you want now. I love the patterns that can be created with this. So I want more pink up here. Oh, that's a bit too much pink. But it's all good. That's what's great about this process. You can never really go wrong. And if anything, if you don't like anything, you can just keep adding colour onto it. And yeah, just go crazy and just really be free. There's no right and wrong here. Yeah, it's really fun. So I'm going to do a nice tilt here. Ooh. So I feel like we've lost a bit of the white here, and I kind of like that. So what I can do is just go crazy with a bit of white, just like that. I just want a bit. I like these spots that it's creating. And yeah, that looks pretty cool so far. So I like to really take my time with this process, and I kind of step back a little to just assess what's going on, what I do and don't like. But it's really cool at the moment. I kind of feel like there should be a bit more here. And what I did with the brush stroke here, I kind of messed up a little because it started to mix, and I don't really want that, so I can just cover that up. You know, cover up your mistakes. That's the kind of thing you should be going for. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. I really like that. I'm just going to run my finger around the sides just to make sure all the paint has covered nicely on the sides, because I don't really like seeing that when the paint is completely finished and dry. So what I would do now is I would cover the paint, the canvas, with a box, and yeah, just do one double check. That looks pretty cool. I'm happy with that. So what I do is I just get the box, I put it under there for about 24 hours, and then I would be ready to take off the tape. Alright guys, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it answers any questions that you've had. I know a lot of you guys have been asking different things as to how I do the acrylic pour, but hopefully this is a nice overview of how I go about it. As always, if you have any questions, let me know below. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Yeah, it's just a very fun process doing the acrylic pour, and I love how random it always is. You can never really recreate the same piece, which is cool, and it allows you to adapt to new kind of creations. And yeah, it's really cool, guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.